Booyah! This is your man BlindX. Welcome to the From the Inside Out podcast of redemption. Today we have a special guest. He is a founder of the Texoma Thunder VBC Volleyball Club in North Texas. We're coming live too, also from me from North Texas. Today I have a special guest, and he's with me today, and is he's a founder. It's Antoine um, Boucher. Mr. Boucher,
Yes, sir.
how you
I'm
doing?
here.
All right. Um, how you been doing today? I know we had a little bit
I,
trouble,
it's
but
been
technical.
it's been a good day. It's been a pretty good day. We are just last week at this time we were actually getting ready to announce all the teams for the new season. So
Awesome.
in that intermittent time, it's been going really well.
Now, how many teams do you have now that you've
So
had? If you don't mind.
so we're a brand new club.
Okay.
So we actually just started the club itself started on December 28th of 2025. And there were some organizational things that we had to do, and then we had our first clinic on February 28th of 2026, and that's what's kind of started the club. So in club volleyball,
Mm-hmm.
the season runs from November to April, but you sign your players in July. And the reason that is to respect volleyball season for the education system. So
Yeah.
we sign the girls in July. In August, all players are generally playing for their school, and the season starts August 1st. For Texas here in UIL,
Yes, sir.
August 1st is when the coaches can finally talk to their players for the first time.
Yeah.
And by August 5th, they're already playing in tournaments. So they hit hard and fast.
Mm.
And while that's happening, the clubs are getting ready for the season. So
Okay.
UIL season's August 1st to the end of October,
Mm-hmm.
and then club season starts November 1st. And so that's when we will start kicking in again. And to answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
Blind Man, we have 6 teams. I'm really excited about that. We were hoping for 5. We were prepared for 3, and we actually got 6.
Wow.
So it was beyond a blessing to have that many families and girls that wanted to play.
Oh yeah. And how do these girls sign up, coach? I mean, yeah.
So what we did, our club's a little different in the way a lot of clubs operate, and we had some freedom to do that because there's not a whole lot of competition up here right now.
Yes,
We're
sir.
we're all the way in north. We're in
Correct.
Texoma, which is right south of the border, right, of Oklahoma, and so there's not a whole lot of clubs up here. So I wanted to try something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Because down south, when I say south, I mean like Frisco, Allen,
Yes,
Plano,
correct.
McKinney,
Yes.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's close to 30 clubs down there, and they're all competing for the right girls and everything else. And so they have to do it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that I still think I would do it my way, but
Mm-hmm.
it's much different down there. But my way basically was we had clinics, like I said, it started February 28th, and we went every 2 weeks. And those clinics were evaluation clinics. The girls were grouped instead of by age, they were grouped by skill level. So we had a beginner group, we had a middle group, and we had an end group, which we called rumbles, just because we leaned very heavily into the Texoma Thunder like thing. So we had these rumbles,
Oh, okay.
and the third rumble was the farthest rumble away. So that would be like the beginners, and then we had our second rumble, and the first rumble's the loudest, and those were the really good players. And it didn't matter their age; it mattered how good they were.
Correct.
And so that's what and we did that all the way through May. So there were 6 clinics that we did, and then after that, at May 9th, school's ending, so we had 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off. School ends, graduations, blah blah blah. Kids moving from junior high to middle school to high school. Having that parents needed a break.
Yes,
And
definitely.
then in June, we went all in. So we had 3 Saturdays in June, and those were the tryout Saturdays. So a player, if she wanted to play with our team, she had a couple of, she had to show up to at least one Saturday. If she showed up to one of those Saturdays, she was in. If a player wasn't able to make those because of vacation, it's June,
Yeah,
then
definitely.
they would try. Then we would make special arrangements where we didn't have to do that this year.
Mm.
And so they had three chances to come in, and then um, we also offered in June weekday stuff, and that was not judged. That was not a ranked or anything. That was just get more touches, get more touches, get more touches
Yeah,
to
that
help the
helps.
girls get better. And at the end of it, this is one of the things that makes our club kind of unique is that we chose the teams for the girls. In other words, when you go to high school, you're going to try out for a team. Hey, yeah, you made a team, but the player doesn't get to choose which team they're on. The coach
Correct.
does. You're going to play varsity, and you're going to play
Yeah.
JV1, and you're going to play JV2.
Yes.
We kind of did the same thing. We kind of said, look, guys, don't you worry about what coach you're playing for. Don't worry about what level you're playing for. Let us take care of you. And we offered 47
Mm.
contracts. Like, hey, this is
Yep.
what the team we want you to play. This is going to do. And out of the 47, 44 accepted. So we only had three girls that decided, nah, maybe this isn't for me,
Yeah.
and that's fine. There's
Each his own.
nothing
Yeah.
bad about that at
Yeah.
all. But their families decided for various reasons that they didn't want to do it, and which is okay.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, they're all signed and ready to go. And so the next step is obviously we're going to be doing some uniform fittings in August and that kind of stuff. But the club will only offer we'll offer some Saturday clinics just after the tournament. So we've got to wait a little bit. Well, we always offer lessons as well to help the girls get ready for tryouts
Correct.
and for just during the season if they want to keep touches and get one-on-one coaching because high school volleyball and middle school volleyball, it goes fast. It goes, like I said, the coaches finally going to talk to them August 1st and by August 5th. They've made two rounds of cuts and they're doing two a days and they're in a tournament with only 4 days of practice
Wow.
before it.
Wow.
It's intense.
That's good. I know that. I know a person that's doing that with you. She's actually my daughter, and
Yep.
she loves it. I mean, she's like, Dad, I love going to the I mean, any little thing practice like the training that y'all do. She wants to go all
Yep.
the times. At home, she same thing. She has so much drive. She goes in the backyard practice because we bought her nets. So she
I
does it
love it.
on a constant basis. Her and Ellie, her friend, they comes over all the time.
Yep.
And yeah, it's
Yep.
just
And they're both on the same team. Yep.
yeah. Oh yeah, they work really good together. I've seen that. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, how does I guess is it too late right now for anybody else to sign up? And what would they need to maybe next year or
No. Actually, that's a great question, Eric. So right now, what we're offering is so we have two more clinics on Saturdays.
okay,
So this Saturday and the next Saturday. So this was the day, the 18th and the 25th of July, and
okay,
then
yeah,
we're still
okay,
offering lessons. But here's the big thing, and this is what we think is going to happen. So
hmm
we have six teams, but we've only got 44 players. And to be honest, if you have six teams, you should have around 60 players.
correct.
So what we have is not missing players. We have inventory, is what we've
Oh
called it.
yeah,
We have available slots for all of our age groups. So we have a U11 team. We have two U13 teams, which combines U12 and U13.
correct.
We have a U14 team, which is under 14. We can talk about that. And we have two U15 teams. And so right now we're basically ninth grade all the way down to sixth grade, whatever. We have a 9 and 10-year-old team, and they are really really fun.
Yeah,
Um, but if what we think is going to happen is that as school starts and as we keep doing our little programs and offering the lessons, that there will be more girls that want to play.
play, correct.
All we do is say, okay, here's how you do it, and it literally ends up being the same way that all the parents who did the Saturdays in June, the same thing. They will, if a parent wanted to sign up their girl for all three Saturdays in June, they paid $75, which, by the way, is really cheap for volleyball.
Oh
We
yeah,
want to make sure that we want to make sure that everybody in Texoma, if they want to play,
hmm
cost is not the reason. And we could talk a little bit more
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
about that in a little bit. But
Okay.
so it was $75. So
Yeah.
if a kid wants to join now, a player wants to join now, they would pay $75 for an evaluation with a coach, either with me or one of my other coaches. We have like I said, we have lots of coaches. We're very blessed on that.
Yes.
And then if they want to join, they pay the $100 deposit, which is what you have paid, and then we'd
Correct.
get them on the same track, and they would join their team, and they would know who the rest of them is in November. So we have still 3 months to fill our teams. I don't think we're going to start any more, but we have 3 months to fill our teams, and I think we'll have the girls that will like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't even know that you were here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, and that's part of what's going to happen. Yep.
That's a good vision to have. And do we ready? What do they usually go on to? Is it like you have a website or anything like that you want to put out
Yep.
there as well?
Sure. It's TexomaThunderBBC.com. Texoma Thunder. The VBC stands for Volleyball Club, but if you just go TexomaThunderBBC.com,
Mm-hmm.
and there are it's it's like me. I like to talk, and the website's very wordy. And we've tried to update. There's a couple cool graphics on it, but basically, it has everything, any kind of information anybody could possibly want to know about the club. And one of the things, well, first of all, like, and even contact, like if you say, hey, contact us, one of my staff or me will get the email and we'll answer.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good
but
that because when I was looking for my daughter, she was playing just I guess rec, I guess just regular for the Anna over here, and
mhm.
we were looking for. I seen a few like in I think Frisco. Well, I seen a lot in Frisco and in McKinney. I think they had a couple, and then there's other
Yep.
ones. Like you said, down south a little bit. But um, I it just I don't know, amazes me. But these girls that you have are really good, and they don't
Yeah,
know
my
yet.
coaches. Oh my
Oh
gosh,
yeah,
yes,
and
I
all
have
the
been
coaches.
so blessed.
Yes, because
Well,
my daughter I seen a lot of improvement from my daughter, and she was only 10 when she started doing the volleyball with y'all, and she just turned 11 last month.
right.
But yes, and like I said, you have to work hard to compete, to do what you have to do, and to make what team. This is what you really want, because I went to University of Texas as well. My freshman. I've been a freshman as on a varsity. Pretty much all my life. So and it's just amazing. I see a lot of talent on your team, and I just want to congratulate you putting this together, because a lot of people they don't know where to find where to go, or the websites, things like that. Because I was trying to find a private coach, I had to go to Plano, like an hour
Right,
away.
right, right. And so that was one of the there's a couple of reasons why we started. Well, I started the club,
Yes.
why we founded the club. So first of all, I want to make it really clear to everybody that it's a non-profit. So
Okay.
um, the goal of the club, I have a board that watches over me. One you behind this the Brothers of God is
Correct.
related to the this podcast here.
Correct.
So what we have, here's how it's really structured. So there's a business. The real business is ambient sports, and my name is Anton Marius Boucher. So there's the
Yes.
ambient, the A and B.
A and B. Yeah.
And what that is, that's a nonprofit that's dedicated to helping uh, the Texoma area get sports that are difficult for other players. Like if you were talking about Plano and you were talking about McKinney,
Yeah.
those are expensive clubs.
It,
And
yes.
when you're in Plano and McKinney and Frisco, you can afford an expensive club.
Yeah.
Most people can.
Yeah.
But up here in Denison, that's not really our demographic. Our demographic, household income is much lower. And so one of the reasons I made it a nonprofit instead of a for-profit is because I have a mission. And the mission is that any player, any girl right now,
Mm-hmm.
because we're not dealing with that,
Yeah.
any girl that wants to play volleyball
Mm-hmm.
they can have reasons not to play. We have one. We have a player who really wants to do it, but she also likes to do rodeo. We have
Yeah.
a player that wants to do it, but she is committed to cheer. In fact, we have two cheerleaders
Cheerleaders. Yeah.
that weren't able to do it this year because they're committed to cheer, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's a reason not to play. But I am honored to say that we have some families who we were able to offer financial assistance to
Correct.
because they can't afford the dues and fees that are associated with the club.
Yes.
And that is the primary reason. I want to that is the primary reason where you come on a Saturday, you're paying only $30 as opposed to 45, 50, 65, $70 for an
Definitely.
hour for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Ours is $30. And because these girls got to play.
Yeah.
I've got parents who for a season it's around $3,000 around
That's
there.
that's
But
really good.
that only includes what we do. What it doesn't include is the travel. It doesn't include, and we're not traveling far, but you still got to put gas. You got to do
Yeah.
the fuel. You got to. We're going to be going places because even though we're regional, we're not really traveling a whole lot
Uh,
because we're in Denison. We could be playing in Mansfield, which is South Fort Worth. That's the hike.
that hey, I like
So
that closer.
yep.
I like it.
But so we want to make sure. So we got girls that are on financial assistance,
Hmm.
and I am proud to say that it's almost 20% of our players are on some version of financial assistance, and that was a blessing. That's a blessing from God that we're able to say to these girls, look, we know there's multiple reasons, but whatever those reasons are, that's not going to stop you from playing.
No.
You're gonna play, and we're gonna figure out a way to get you to play because money is not the reason that you don't play.
I
You're
was.
gonna be a cheerleader, great.
Yeah.
You want to be rodeo, great. But if your parents can't afford it, let's talk. Let's figure out something. And
Yes.
it the we have 20%, but that means 80% of parents are paying full price, and I'm so appreciative of them.
Yeah.
And there is a part also which we haven't been successful yet. We're working on is getting sponsorship. If
Yes.
we can get sponsorships and grants because we're a nonprofit, that's the
Yes.
other forming. Then it really makes it easy to say
Oh
to,
yeah.
to keep the cost down for everybody. That's the goal. So
Yeah.
it, yeah,
That's wonderful because I wouldn't say less fortunate. I would say I was middle income when I was younger because I had my both parents were together for 20 years. Um,
right,
and we didn't have select. I wish we did, but we had all stars. And I made it, 10, 11, and 12-year old that was major. So I made it when I was 10 years old. Well, my mom couldn't afford to go on the road to all stars because
right,
we had to travel. Well, the president, says he took care of my mom, like paid for a hotel because I told him I don't think I'm going to be able
nice,
to make it. And he's like, "Oh no, Eric, that's not going to be the problem. That you're not coming. You're the best person on our team, so we need you to come. So we're going to pay for your mom's room, her gas in her car, and anything else that she needs. It's all fully paid." And that, I think about it now, and I'm fortunate what I have now. I'm in real estate and other businesses that I have, but that I can, put that the money up for my daughter. She can do whatever she
right.
wants to do now. So that's
Well,
it's very good. So to hear that,
yeah,
I'm
that's
very thankful.
awesome, and that's exactly what our club's supposed to be trying to do too.
Yeah,
We are trying our hardest,
that's
and we
good.
also reading. So again, so there's a Christian aspect of it, right? So that's that ambient sports that we're trying. We're not the volleyball club is not a Christian volleyball club. It's just a club,
Correct.
but it's based on Christian principles and founded founded by a hardcore Christian, and
Awesome.
the nonprofit itself, the Ambient Sports, is a Christian company, and we say that we're going to honor God by helping the community and showing God's love through the community. That's part of the mission statement. And so one of the things on our website, for instance, people say, well, $3,000 is a lot of money. Well, I publish what the coaches make, what I pay my coaches. I
Yeah.
publish where your club dues go to. We try to be as transparent as possible to make sure that parents know, look, you're, again, not a whole lot of people know about the ambient sport thing. It's
Yeah,
kind of the undercover thing.
that's the
Texoma
LSC.
Thunder
Yes.
is the front, right?
Yes. Correct.
But we say, look, you can sit, check, you can ask me anything. Like, not even on the podcast,
Yeah.
but like the parents, if they have a question,
Mm.
hopefully I've already answered it on the website, including transparency, integrity. Like, here's the budget, here's what we've done, here's what your money's going to, and
That's very
that way
key.
parents can feel secure
Yeah.
that, hey, we're not here to take your money. I'm here to make sure that your girl plays ball.
Yeah. That's that's a big that's a oh man, that's a wonderful thing, and I hope a lot more girls, and it would grow, and also pray that it will be successful on anything that you do. And there's a lot of potential around North Texas, this area here, that a lot of
Oh my
girls,
goodness,
yeah, a lot
yes.
of
And
girls.
you,
Go ahead.
well, and even your daughter, Leia, man, I'm telling you, she is like, she's a firecracker, and we saw her a couple of times, and the difference in her play between when she first started and then when and toward the end when we were starting to choose teams and stuff is
Yeah,
just incredible because the girls want it. In Texoma and in our North General area here in high school, the girls all played all three sports. You would go from volleyball to basketball and then soccer or track. That's generally what everybody did. But especially the young girls, the culture's changing, and they want to just play basketball. They just
okay.
want to play volleyball. They just want to do soccer, which is good. But for volleyball especially, so look, soccer, the World Cup's going on right now, right?
Yep,
Soccer, you just need a field and a ball,
that's
and
it.
it's always in play. Basketball, almost every place has a hoop, and you can still do that outdoors. But outdoor volleyball is not. That's a whole different energy
Yeah,
to
that's
what we're
way
doing.
different.
And when you do volleyball, you need to have a court, you need to have a net, you have to have
Refs.
the poles in order. I mean, and that's why it's expensive to do,
Yeah.
and that's why there's not a whole lot of clubs that do it. It's just it takes work, and so that is our goal is to try to say, hey, we need one here instead of having to drive all the way 45 minutes to get to practice
Hmm.
for 2 hours, and then drive 45 minutes back home. It's too far. I don't want my girls. I don't want my daughter and I did that. We did that for 2 years.
Oh
We
man.
would drive down to Frisco to play club volleyball, and we finally had enough. We just like we're not doing that.
Yeah, it's a good area. It's a very good area. And I'm glad that
Oh yeah.
you founded this volleyball club because it's only gonna get bigger, coach. So, and now you want to go over the financial because a lot of people might think it's 3,000 up front. They might not realize. Oh, I got to put 3,000 down all at once. Do you want to explain that, coach?
Sure. So here's basically how we work. So, and a lot of clubs do that. So let's say you're at one of the more expensive clubs. Normally, when you do signing day, when
Yes.
you commit to the club, you're spending close to $900 to $1,000, like upfront. Boom. That's right.
Yep.
That's legit. There's nothing wrong with that. Remember that in the lower areas, they're really trying to grab girls. They're trying to get commitments because
Yeah.
down there, the players and families will club shop. They'll go to different things and see the best offer that they can get and who they're most comfortable with.
Wow.
And then they go and they'll get multiple offers from multiple clubs. And then they just pick one. And all the other clubs are like, oh, crap, we were counting on her and now we don't have her.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not stuck in that boat, and I still don't think I would do it. But I chose to say, look, if you want to commit to the club, all you got to pay is $100, and everybody had to do that.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's when the financial assistance kicks in. So we have a big one. It's $75. You're gonna. I'm sorry. So we pay $100 for it, and then August. That's our biggest payment. You're paying that's the one that gets the club going, especially this year because we've never done it. And then every payment gets lower and lower and lower until you finally pay it off. The other thing that we did, and I made this a conscious decision, is that we don't ask. So you're paying on the first of the month all the way through February, and some people March.
Yeah.
Sorry, March, and some people April. We don't ask for club dues in December. That was another one that was really important to me because generally speaking, we're asking for about $300 a month. So you have this upfront thing, and then $300 a month, and it's 300, 500, 400. It goes down. But
Yeah.
in December, I made a decision. We're not going to take in. What we will do is offer a clinic during the winter break,
Mhm.
and that'll help. But I do not want parents to worry about paying their club dues on the same at the same time as Christmas. There's other things that they want to spend their that they need to spend their money on, especially because we're a youth volleyball club. So I'd rather have their parents spend the money and, hey, guess what? Here's your brand new volleyball shoes,
Yeah.
and then they do or whatever they're going to spend it
Knee
on. And they
pads.
don't even have to do that, but and they're not worrying about paying the club.
Yeah.
But there's other things, and so that was a conscious decision as well.
And
But
that's
yep.
a good vision because the way I see it, Coach, is you're helping the community, and also it's building the brand as well, and God will bless it because you're helping others, and it always
Yes,
comes
sir.
back. It always comes back, and so I am an ordained
And that
minister
is
too. So uh,
that is the dream. Is for it. It is not. And this is kind of odd for most people to hear, but my background is actually in education. I was a high school coach for a while, but I actually taught theater for 18 years.
yeah,
And for people like what, and that for me is like it's the same thing. Whether they're on a stage or on a court, my job is to make the kids look good. That's my job. So for me, there's not much of a disconnect there, even though for a lot of people there is. But for the club,
yeah.
we purposely built. You've met our coaches, and
Oh
you
yeah,
you
good
already know
coach.
we've got fantastic
Oh yeah,
coaches.
very good
We've
coaches.
also built a club that's going to be the culture is player first, club first, team is second. You don't. Everybody does the same thing no matter what level they're on. So that we always start every practice, every clinic, everything the same way.
Mm-hmm.
They know that the girls know, and I think this is what Leah tapped into a little bit too,
Mm-hmm.
is that it's a safe place. No coach is ever going to yell at a kid for doing something wrong. We're just one of the principles of the club is to be relentlessly positive,
That's good.
relentlessly positive.
Just yell at her,
And
coach. She gets she messes up. You have my permission. I,
It won't
I
happen. No, okay, and let me be very clear. I am still a coach, and there are times when they get frustrated, but they're not going to get. So, for instance, we had a clinic the other day, and our older girls were out of it. They were dragging, they were
yeah,
rolling their eyes. We stopped, time out. We're going to have a little come to Jesus meeting here,
that's right.
but they're not being berated. They're
Come
not
on.
being put down.
Yeah,
And that, I see that way too often with
that can hurt a
coaches and how
child.
they
Yep.
interact with these. But I mean, and to be honest, our top team right now is made up of 13 and 14-year-olds. Our middle teams are made up of 11. What and who in the world has to get that intense over a freaking 12-year-old game?
Yep.
And we're going to see it. When we start going to tournaments, you'll see the teams that do that. You'll see the teams that are like that. And I don't get it.
Wow.
Look, volleyball's fun. You're learning this communication. It's a difficult sport. The second the ball hits the ground, it's over, as opposed to soccer, where if you miss the kick, hey, guess what? That ball's still in play.
Yeah.
But if you miss the ball in volleyball, it's over. It's done. And these girls, I mean, you're literally going from offense to defense in less than a second. And these girls, it's been timed out. It's less than a second. They have a decision on how they're going to handle this ball that's coming at them. And it is such a different sport, and it builds such character in the girls. And if
Correct.
you can build a club that says, look, we're going to be culture first and we're going to be positive and everything, that's going to be the safe space for our girls. Our girls need safe spaces. Our public high schools, I worked in them for 18 years.
Yeah.
I am, well, longer than that, actually, 22 years. I am familiar. And most modern high schools, it's not, you have to, welcome to the jungle. And
I
the
heard.
club, no, you do not have to here. And when you're in the club, no one's going to make fun of you. No one's going to, you're always going to be built up by your teammates and your coaches if something's going on. I am very blessed. I am super blessed that most of my coaches are female
Yeah.
because there's things look, I'm a 54-year-old man. They don't want to talk to me about that, but I've got this 22-year-old coach who's kicking butt right now,
Yeah.
and they'll talk to her, and it's a safe space, and so that's really important. It's important for these girls to have that, and
That
so
is
not and Lord knows what's
structure.
going on at home with some of these girls, so
Yeah. Exactly.
it's
That's
it's
always.
always good.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, the structure. And I was gonna actually start off with this, coach. But where you so you're 54, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were where were you born and raised at, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh,
Let's get into that a little bit. Who you are? Yes, sir.
oh, Brian, man, you just opened up the can. Okay, so here's how this
Let's
works.
do it.
There's not a really quick way to do
Mm-hmm.
this. I'll do it as fast
Oh,
as
we're plenty of time.
succinct as I can.
Yeah.
So I was born in Southern California, but both of my parents are immigrants from the
Okay.
Netherlands. So
Okay.
my parents are both Dutch, but I'm a first generation American.
Okay.
My parents are both immigrants, and in Southern California there was a large Dutch population, and my mother came over with her whole family, and my father immigrated on his own. They met in California, got married, and that's where I was born.
Yeah.
When my father was an aerospace engineer, he had parts on the space shuttle. Like his company made parts for the space shuttle, like recording instruments and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
electronics. And on my father's 40th birthday, he decided that he was making good money and we lived in a good house in Southern California. He said he didn't see the point. He said, "I'm just making money to buy a bigger house, to go on the bigger
Oh
vacations."
my
And
God.
he bailed. He didn't want to do it. He said, "I'm done." And he joined an organization called Wycliffe Bible Translators. And so my parents became missionaries. Now, they
Awesome.
weren't the missionaries that go around and preaching to people, and they weren't. So Wycliffe Bible Translators, they think that the Word of God should be in everybody's own language.
Correct.
And there's a long story behind that. So basically, what they do is they go around the world and they find tribes of people and all over the world that don't have either. They may not even have a written language, but they certainly don't have the Bible written in their language.
Yes,
And then these
definitely.
translators go around and they translate it for them. And this is literally a 12 to 15-year process to do that. Well, my
Man.
parents were the support group. My father was did international relations. My mother did finance. So I went to Duncanville High School in South Tech in South Dallas for one
Oh
year
yeah.
for ninth grade, and then I went for a year and a half, which it gets a little weird. I was in Papua New Guinea,
Let
where
me
I
let
went
me
to
go back.
Ukarumpa High School.
Let me go back, coach.
Go ahead.
Duncanville.
Okay,
Now that
Duncanville.
have you seen? I mean, they're very good at with football. I know that I've seen that a lot when I see them, football. But I just wanted to see how was it. You said you were in ninth grade. You just did 1 year.
Okay. Well, so not only that, yeah. So I was there for my ninth grade year, and it's still at the high school. And it was already big back then. It wasn't nearly. I mean, I graduated in '89, man.
Uh huh.
I'm old, all right. So I'm going. I think it was '84. In 1984, 85, that's when I was there. And I'm going to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
My first teaching job was in Duncanville as well. I got a job at Duncanville, my first teaching job, and so I know the growth and I know the situation. I know the
Yeah.
area. But yeah, Duncanville is that's quite an
Powerhouse.
experience being down there now.
I bet. All right. I'll just check it. But what was your parents? And then, man, that's awesome about your parents. I have a buddy that is doing that. He's I forgot what they're called, but he's been a missionary for in a long time, and he's in the
Yep,
international thing. He's the president or something like that. But
yep. So
I would
basically,
want
I
to.
grew up overseas. I grew up overseas. I graduated from high school in Indonesia, which is by population the largest Muslim country in the
Yeah, it
world.
is. Yep, it
And
is.
yep, but that's where I graduated from high school. It was in the same right, and they changed the name. So when I was living there, it was called Irian Jaya, and is now called Papua, which is not the same as Papua New Guinea, which is on the east side of the island.
Oh, okay.
The part I graduated from is the west side of that island. And I graduated from a very small high school, and then I went to college in Michigan at Calvin College in
Hmm.
Grand Rapids, Michigan,
Oh yeah.
and that's kind of my education and where I came from. But when someone asks, "Hey, where did you grow up?" It's such a loaded question for me. So I mean, I was born in Southern California, and I was there until I was 12, and then we started moving. And by the time I was 18, I think we had counted it out once. I was something like 22 different places I called home. Like, okay, I'm going home. That's because that's the missionary life. You're moving as before you get settled, and so there's training and all this other kind of things. And yep.
Wow, I bet you that was experience
So
from because you're with your parents, they're missionaries, so you know. But I don't blame your dad. I don't.
no,
That's something that I had to battle with, and for what? Why keep doing the same thing and just getting bigger houses and getting more? It's just something else. But
it is, and it is, and I don't regret that experience at all. My worldview, because of I have, and it's
oh yeah,
interesting, especially where we are in America today.
correct.
My worldview, so my parents are immigrants. I'm a first generation American, and most people they see the white guy and they go, no, yeah, I'm a first generation American. And and when I lived in Indonesia, I was the minority, like 100%.
Oh yeah.
Again, white Christian person in Indonesia is a significant
Oh yeah.
minority there. Now, I'm not trying to compare myself to the minority experience in America at all. It's a completely different situation, and I recognize that.
Yeah.
But it certainly affected my worldview. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I bet it did because I mean your parents were there, and I'm pretty sure they were trying to reach some Christian people. Maybe because I have a buddy that does that. He talks to just Muslims and to convert them as Christians, but it's pretty
Oh,
tough doing
that's
it.
yeah.
So
And especially in America, you're a little safer in that. But
oh yeah,
in if you're in Indonesia or heaven forbid one of the Middle Eastern places and
correct.
you become Christian,
You get killed,
you're signing up
persecuted.
for a death sentence. You're signing up for like, hey, I'm willing to sacrifice my life for Christ
Yep.
because that does not go over well at all. So it's that.
Yeah, they
Congratulations to
persecuted
your
them.
friend there, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
they persecute. I mean, especially in what is it?
Middle East.
Syria. You know,
Yeah.
they're persecuting Christians
Yep.
left and right. But
They are.
and
And that's
what?
no, I just want to say, make sure that, like, here in America, it's not that. That's not that at all. In fact, many Muslim families are very. I've
Oh,
taught
there's
them.
many of them.
They've been
Yeah.
a part of it. Yeah. This is we're again. If your friend is a missionary and he's working over like in the Middle East, that's where. Here in America, it's not the version of Muslim. It's all the same as version of Islam.
Yes.
But I think that the American experience is more that they know that they're I have a lot of respect. I just want to say that I have a lot of respect for the Muslim faith, and I don't want anybody to come across thinking
Oh
that,
yeah.
oh, here we go. This guy just thinks that they're
No. Yeah, I believe
well
the
off the
same
chain.
thing you
Those
do.
are the lunatics, which is the same that Christians have. We have plenty of loonies as well,
Oh yeah, we do.
and I don't. I mean, we do, and so I don't want
Yes.
anybody to ever think that I am disrespecting
Oh
Islam
no,
at
no,
any level because
no.
I
But
have a massive respect. I've studied it, and I have massive respect for the prophet
yes.
and for just what it is. I mean, it's not lining up with my faith,
Yes.
but
Correct.
I certainly would not disparage their faith. I just needed to put that out there, man.
No.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to make
That's
sure
the
we said
same
that.
view that I have too as well. Um.
Good.
And but yeah. The so how did you? I guess so. You came to Denison after. Did you get a job or after
Yeah,
another one?
yeah.
Where else did you
So
go?
here's what happened.
Where else did you go?
And that is that loaded question, right? So I graduated from Michigan and I went to Duncanville and I got my first job. And then my roommate in Michigan, he became a pastor and he started a church in
Oh
California. So
wow.
I moved to California to go be with him, and I got a job teaching at a small Christian school, a Lutheran school
Okay.
there, right near Sacramento. And that school is where in that school, I'm teaching at a school, and that's where I met my wife, which sounds awful.
Oh.
My wife's 14-year younger sister was going to that school, and it's a long story that we don't need to get into,
No,
but
that's
that's
fine.
how
We
I
can
met
get
my
into there.
wife.
Yeah.
Like I'm teaching in Lutheran school, generally K through eighth grade. Yeah, that's where I met my wife. No, it was her
Yeah.
sister was going to the school, and her sister was living with her at the time. my mother-in-law, my now mother-in-law, has MS, and so
Yeah.
Christy, my wife, was taking care of her sister, and um, we kind of just met because I invited my students to go see Toy Story, the original. That's how old we are.
Yes.
The original Toy Story. And said, "Hey guys, I'm going to go see it at this place. If you want to come see it with me, go ahead." And that's the first time we met. And then, I met her for the first time, and I thought she was a single mom. And she goes, "No, no, 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 that's my sister." And I went, "Oh, like,
Okay.
okay." And so then we kind of hooked up after that. And honestly, so that happened. Our first, and this is odd that a guy knows this, but our first date,
Mhm.
we said let's meet on Saturday, and then we both go, wait a minute, that's New Year's Eve 2000 Y2K. The
Yeah.
world's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
So our first date was on December 28th of 1999, and essentially we've been together
Wow.
ever since. Like,
That's
we just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary.
well. That's when I
So
graduated.
we got married
99.
in 2001. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
99 is the is when I graduated, and also that's when I also had my oldest daughter. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then so then after that you met her in
So,
the or
yep. And I was teaching, but then I got married. We got, so we were together, and the little Christian school that I was teaching at didn't pay enough. That's just the
correct.
nature of the business. I was a
That's
single
it.
guy. Who cares? But when you start living with your spouse, it's expensive. So I went to another school, and this, you'll see how this works. So I went to another high school,
Uh-huh.
a Christian school that was farther north in Sacramento.
Okay.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Mhm.
And I had worked there for 2 years, but it wasn't going the way that I thought it should. So I luckily found a group, a group that is still functioning. I don't know quite how well they're doing anymore, but it's called National Youth Sports.
Hmm.
And what they did is that they ran a sports league. No, they're a league, but they never kept score. It wasn't. It was based on essentially the founders' belief that
Oh my
kids
God, I
just need to
remember that.
play. Just set them up and let them go. And then, of course, you're keeping score at the game, but the league itself didn't keep score. We don't, so we'd have we do basketball, we did t-ball, we did flag football, we did soccer, and but we didn't keep league score. And again, the idea was to try to keep the costs low. So that's baked into my DNA early on.
Correct.
All we did was provide the infrastructure. We gave them, here's some teams. All you people live close to each other. So here, now you're a team, and and you paid, here's your $10 T-shirt. Now you've got a uniform, and I'll set up these locations. Like, we would play at Frankford Middle School in Plano, right?
Yeah.
And I'll set up the place, and we go inside, and I have the t-ball set up, and I'd get the soccer field set up, and it was just play and have fun. And that started. I mean, I was involved with sports that early, and then it was still not paying enough money, and so that's when I started looking into teaching again. I mean, I was started as a teacher, and I got a job in Frisco at
Oh.
Pioneer Heritage Middle School in Frisco, and I taught there for 12 years as a theater teacher, and then moved to Lone Star High School as a theater. And then COVID hit, and then I also got cancer.
Oh
The other
wow.
way around. I got cancer. Yeah,
Yeah. Tell us about
in
that.
2000.
That's
Dude, man, when you ask me to tell me about my life, it's crazy.
oh
So
believe it.
I was diagnosed with leukemia in 2017,
Mhm.
and then, and God blessed me through it. I got through it. That's a story in and of itself. But
Okay.
basically, by January 2017, but by August of 2017, I was back in the classroom against the better judgment of my oncologist.
Mhm.
I was in there, and we
Yeah.
started going again, and then COVID hit.
Oh man.
And between the cancer and the COVID, that really kind of burned me out on theater. A theater
Yes.
teacher, a good one, is busier than a coach,
I
because
believe it.
the coach has a season and it ends. When I was teaching theater, I had auditions the third day of school, and I had the final party the last week of school. And you have something almost every day, practice after school, because you're working on something. And I burned out. And so I said, I got to go back to coaching.
Mhm.
And then I got a job in Denton.
Hmm.
And we had moved to Denton, but that job was awful, and my kids were slated to go to that school, and I did not want them there. So we started moving, and that's how, which is the answer, the very long answer to your question,
It's
which
okay.
is that's how we ended up in Denison. Is that
That's
I got a teaching job up here. I taught in Pottsboro for a year, and then I went back down to Plano for a year, and then I finally said, God doesn't want me teaching right now. I'm kind of done. And so I am right now, and that is what led to, hey, we can also start a club. So I am right now driving a bus
for
for
school.
Denison ISD. I'm part of their transportation.
Hmm.
I'm also a low voltage engineer. That's what I call myself. I help install radios and cameras and that kind of thing into the
Oh,
bus.
okay.
But basically, I'm working for transportation and working on the club.
That's awesome. I know my brother had the same thing, the cancer which you had, leukemia, and
Leukemia.
yeah, see, he was on
It's
stage
awful.
4, and the next thing you know, he's I don't know, a miracle came. He got prayed
Wow.
on, and next thing you know, he didn't have it. The next, he went to the doctor, and it was gone. So never
You're
came back.
kidding.
Yeah. So
No, I did 6 months of chemo, and it was brutal. I mean, I would not wish that on my worst enemy. That
yeah.
I could never ever. It was awful experience. Um, yeah, and then and let's round out the big experiences of Coach Boucher's life. So we got married. We've been married for 25 years. We found out early on that we were not able to have kids like
Uh-huh.
on our own. So both of our children are adopted.
Okay.
So our son is adopted, and they're both international adoptions because the missionary boy over here needed to do it that way. So our son is adopted from Ethiopia.
Oh wow.
He's Ethiopian, and we met him when he was 6 months old. He's
Awesome.
18 now, but we met him when he was 6 months old. And our daughter we adopted from China,
Wow.
and she's actually one of the assistant coaches at the club now. You'll see her
Oh
around if
yes,
you
I
guys
did.
ever come see the
Yes.
club.
Mhm.
She's there. She is a phenomenal coach and player. She was a great player, but she quit for her senior year. It's her senior year at Denison High School, and she's not going to play anymore. She's going to help coach instead at the club, and she's helping out. She made really good friends with one
The
of the drum
coach.
majors,
Oh okay.
and so she's helping. She's managing for the band. She doesn't play an instrument, but she's managing for the band. And that's going to be her thing for school. And her but she really likes coaching, and so you'll see her around, and she's a great coach.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
my son is as he's going to be a senior as well, and he hangs around and he works at Canes and does high school boy things.
Oh yeah. I have 9 children, so
I'm not saying
yeah.
anything else.
No, brother, I understand. I just wanted to give just a part, what you've been through in your life and what God has done for you as well. Not only
Yeah.
volleyball, but for yourself. I, also I worked in 3 different churches. I was a outreach pastor as well, and
Really?
oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm in. I have my license to marry and bury. Ordained. So yeah,
Yep.
I married my son. I married quite a few people, and buried my father and my brother and my sister. They all died, so that's a long thing. But yeah, which you maybe not know about me. The reason why I am blind is because I got shot with a 12 gauge sawed off shotgun to the face
Oh,
and to
I
the
did not know
body.
that.
Yeah, and to the body. So that left me paralyzed, left dead. Died 3 times, got brought back, had an 18-hour surgery, and I just been so I was a vegetable. I was in a coma for 3 months, 4 months, and then I have a story that's on the YouTube that tells the whole thing about what happened to me. And yes, I was.
What?
I'm sorry.
How did I find that?
It's on our page, or what is it on, Jason? It's on YouTube and TikTok, and you'll see
Okay.
the story in the news, that what
Okay.
happened. And yes, I am a um ex mafia member, and that's something that uh, the family, I just could not escape something like that. But I also was
Mm-hmm.
a businessman. So I was in the car business for 25 years, not just in the car business.
Oh,
I actually bought 3 dealerships up here. So I was the one that went to go make the deals for these Benson Group One. There's different or groups. There's so many different billionaires that buy dealerships every day, and that's what they'd call me, and I'd bring the guys with us, and we'd take over the dealership, and go from there. But yeah, I went all over the United States, traveling. I was traveling every week. So when I came back from Minnesota, believe I was at, uh, and when I went back home, that's when it all happened. And but all that's over with, and I was just living a double life. It was I didn't have a choice at that time, and but like I said, I've been in business since I was 18 years old, 17 years old. So yeah. So that's just a little bit about me. There's a lot more.
yeah. Yeah, and and that's interesting when you gave me an opportunity to tell a lot about my life, and now I've learned a little bit about yours. But it's surprising that I think more people than not have a story like that. There's both of ours is remarkable, but I think many people are remarkable. I think
Yes.
it's more than people would suspect.
Yes. Yeah, I looked and see has anybody survived a 12 gauge sawed off shotgun. I hadn't found anybody yet, but that lived. Uh, so
Yeah, I
yeah,
believe you.
yeah. So and that's I have pictures of it, but I can't put none of the crime scene on. It's not too good. I can't put it on anything, not yet.
Sure.
But yeah, it's on anybody I mean, hearing this and or watching this. You can go on my YouTube, but yeah. So coach, anything else? Do you think we might need to cover on the volleyball or anything like that?
No, I mean, I think you've been very generous in giving me time. I really appreciate it. The only thing is that I think we've hit it really hard. Is that it's our club is growing.
Yeah.
I'm actually, some of the challenges are A, getting the sponsorships, B, getting a place to play. Trying to find gym space because it's like again
Oh,
soccer. Just find a field and you can start practicing teams and we can organize it. But
it's very hard.
volleyball is so difficult. So there is a business in local here, and I don't want to say their name yet
Correct.
because we're just in the initial stages of talking. Who's going to help out? But again, it, we might have that, and if we do, then there's a cost that came in that we weren't expecting. But God's provided every step of the way for sure. I mean, I thought even this like our big dues, the first ones are coming up here in 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I've got 2 more weeks worth of bills that I got to pay and everything else. And God provided a way. And to be perfectly honest, it was the families of the club are the ones that are going to make sure the club survives. That kind of
To make
hurts me
you
a little bit
feel
because that's
good.
not the purpose.
Yeah.
But they bought because on that last Tuesday, because so many people bought so much swag, they bought the shirts and the hats and the
Correct.
blankets and everything that we literally made enough money to cover until August. And then when August comes, now we'll have enough money to like really function and everything else. And that's just, and
That's
I don't
good.
mind saying that. I don't mind, like I said, we try to have integrity
Brother,
and,
you got it.
and transparency in our finances. But God provided. And like, okay. So my vendor is like, she's like, okay, we'll just wait till August to start buying things, and we'll have everything ready for. So when these
Exactly.
girls come, every girl has to go get their uniform fitting,
Correct.
and when they get their uniform fitting, the stuff that their parents purchased at that party will be there waiting for them. It's a brilliant. It worked out really well, and I think that's a God thing. I think that
Oh
God
yes,
has been
definitely
doing a
is.
lot of that.
I see it, brother. It's gonna it's you keep your vision going just like you're doing, and I believe it's gonna prosper a lot. So
Thank you.
and What else? Oh yes, did you get any? Was it pretty tough about, especially in August? Like some of the since the school starts, I think August 4th around here, I believe. I think when y'all start, the school.
So I say your question again.
Yeah, the in August, since the kids they go back to school, you got school shopping and stuff like that. How did the everything was good on the parents? Do you know on the?
Yeah. So what will happen? What will happen as far as the club is concerned?
Mm,
We're all going to be good. We will still, like I said, we'll offer clinics. Some clinics once volleyball gets going. Initially, when volleyball starts,
yeah,
they're at tournaments almost every weekend, but before
before.
district play starts. So they've got all these things that they got to take care of. So probably around September, we'll start offering clinics again for especially for our younger players who
Hmm.
are in sixth grade or not on a team. That's going to be coming down the pipe. We always offer lessons. But the bigger thing is that I'm also going to be offering volleyball 101 for parents because a lot of times they want to cheer, but because volleyball is not a super common sport,
Yeah,
they don't know the
the
rules,
rules.
and so I've had parents get upset with me because you promised my daughter would do and I said I can't help it that we didn't rotate. I can't help it. Those things that are out of the coach's control as far as playing time.
Correct.
And so like, okay, we're gonna do a couple of, and they're gonna be like, if we could charge anything, like it'll be very minimal, but probably free because I'm getting enough money from the parents anyways.
Yeah.
And we'll just say, hey, look, if you want to know how to watch volleyball, here's how to do it. Here's the rules. Here's what's going to happen. And we'll keep busy. And the great thing about it is, by the time this happens next year, I'm hoping that
Yes.
we'll have a place of our own. And then what would happen is that we would focus then on the really young players while the older players are all playing. And then season starts, and by the way,
Hmm.
this whole process, which we called the Thunderdome, that's the tryout process, right? We started in
Thunderdome.
February, ended in June, and we had Welcome to Thunderdome, and we had Lightning Camp, and we had Into the Crucible, we had Survivors, and the last session was Forged. That like the players are forged. Like, they go through this process.
I
Well,
like that
that process
Thunderdome.
starts
Yeah.
again next February. Even while the girls are playing, okay, now if they're not at a tournament, we
Hmm.
hope they show up to a clinic,
Yes.
that kind of thing. And then that's where we're going to get the new girls that want to play next year. And we just do it all. And then the cycle starts.
Correct.
It's just trying to get that first year going.
Yep.
Once you can get that first year going,
That's it.
you're golden.
Yes, sir. I believe that, and that will be it'd be awesome to see it grow. Also, if you need any help, brother, I'm here and anything marketing. I can get some girls, and
Yes.
this is anything that you need. Like I told you, I have my business degree, so and
And the blind man, I got to let your audience, your listeners know that you like have been telling me that from pretty much day one when I met you. Like you have offered that, and you have and it's just one of those things where like I got to get the club off the
yeah,
ground first.
you got to get
But
yes, you got to get that.
but once that that time is coming right now.
Yes,
That
that's
time that time is coming.
yeah,
Where it's like, okay, I can finally. It's August. Like, everything going. I'm slowing down. Now it's time to talk to
yes,
Eric the blind man and get some help and see because I need it. I'm not denying that I need help. We're going to take it. It's just when's the possibility of
yes. You're trying to get
actually
you
slowing down
established.
enough to be able to do it.
Yeah, you're just trying to establish first. Once you get it off the ground, then you'll see your finances and everything like that. What you can do and what you cannot do, and then also sponsorships like that will help you. I just love building things. Like that's what I did all my life. Was build people up and build companies up. That's what I was doing. So yes, brother, like I told you, the HCM, that's a very good. That's one good way also to you'll look at it and different. I don't know if you ever studied that, but it's a really it helps out. So
Okay,
um,
let's check it out. Yeah.
yeah, it's I think I told you human capital management. So that's what it means, and it's awesome that you're doing this for the community, and I really appreciate you coming on. And do you want to say anything else, Mr. Uh, Coach?
I guess the last thing is I'm thankful that you invited me to do this. I am thankful that for the parents, like I said, offering 47 contracts and getting 44 back. That's
It's
pretty
real good.
incredible. And so we've been, as a club, we have been blessed. We have some amazing parents. And I want to also say that even the three girls who said, nah, we're not, three families that said this is not for us this year,
Correct.
we still love them. We like, if they ever change their mind, especially before November, we're going to like, okay, come on back. Let's go.
Yeah.
And for all the other people too, if they're interested, we have room to grow
Oh yeah.
and add girls to the team. And I got to tell you though, the best thing that has been,
Hmm.
we had one family who was just when we had their story, it was an emotional moment to be able to say to a parent that, look, your kid gets to play. We will figure out a way to
Yes.
get the rest. You have to make a commitment. We don't give full, not 100, we gave one full scholarship, but generally speaking, we give
But you
50%
just started,
scholarships.
so that's
And one
good.
was less.
Yes,
But
that's great.
the one full scholarship was a severe case. That's like, it's like a real outlier. And we're not gonna. I don't really want to get into detail of that one, but we
No,
did
that's
offer
okay.
one full scholarship, and then we offered a lot of 50% scholarships, and that keeps the parents like, they're so thankful because they can do that. They can, like, and when we're saying, hey, look, I need this amount. We had one family where we even structured it different, where they're only paying a little bit in the beginning and it more toward the end because one of the parents is trying to find a job and they know that they're digging out of a hole and they can see the light. They know it's there. They just can't afford it at the beginning. Well, okay,
Yeah.
we'll fix it and we'll make it easier. You don't have to pay as much, and the especially early, we'll make it easier. So basically, even when it comes time to pay for that uniform and stuff like that, you're not paying extra because the discount's only on the club dues. The uniforms and they get a backpack and they get two
Correct.
jerseys or three jerseys depending on how old they are.
Yeah.
They get spandex and all this other kind of stuff. Well, that's a fixed cost. I
Oh
can't, and that's not
yes.
even me. That's our vendor, right? So I can't discount that,
Mm.
but I can do that. And so, well, okay, so we're struggling, so we're going to decrease your dues on the 2 months that we're asking for club due, the uniform package,
Yes.
so that it's still manageable for them. And I love being able to do that. That is what the ministry of the nonprofit is to be
Correct.
able to do that. And that when we have parents, I had a parent come up to me, similar to you, not in the same way, but they said, we would pay an extra.
Correct.
We would pay an extra uh, dues
Yes.
just to help cover other dues, and that's awesome. And we're really thankful.
Yeah. It's all. That's really good.
I guess the biggest thing is that what we also still have, and we want sponsors. We have specific places that, like, on our shirts right now, because that's the only thing we can promise.
Correct.
If we get like a gym, hey, you're going to get a banner. You're going to be noticed. We're going to spread the word out that this business did that.
Awesome.
We
Yes.
want corporate sponsorship. To say, hey, look, this company believes enough in the club and also in the community that we're going to help out.
How
That's
much,
for sure the biggest need.
Coach Boucher? I mean, Coach Boucher. The what are the sponsorships for people can know out there? If you don't mind me asking.
So no, again, it's on the spot. It's on the website, and
Okay.
the lowest end, I believe, right now is $300, and the top end, the top one is like $3,000, and it tells you'll get, like right now. And let me be very clear, we did have one sponsorship with Canes of Sherman.
Awesome.
They did sponsor us, but my son works there too, so I had an end there. All
Hey,
right, and
whatever
they're very
works.
generous. So
Whatever
no,
works.
so they're on our front page, and we thank Canes on multiple places on our front page, and they've been really helpful. In fact, we're doing a camp for sure in middle school in August, and they're going to help bring some lemonade over and some food for the Sherman middle school girls when they do their camp, and it's going to be awesome. So it's like we had that one, but
Yeah.
that was kind of, and they were way early on. They helped us get through things. That was, and they'll be a yearly sponsor. They've already know that they're going to do that.
Wow.
But it's the ones that want to be on the jersey, that they want to be represented on the polo. Every girl gets a warm up, and we want somebody to say, hey, we're going to commit to this the community and the club, and we will then help push their name out.
Awesome. Well, that's something maybe I might be
It's on the website.
yeah, I'm gonna look that too, see if I could sponsor something as well.
Cool.
To see I'll talk to you about that. What's different sponsorships and things like that. But
Yep.
you have a all that you're what you founded was is awesome. You know how I know that is because there was a girl like I look at, yeah, I might not see, but I can I don't know how I could say it, but I seen the way there was a girl that was sick, and y'all still treated her as that she
Oh,
was
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
still there.
Yep.
Y'all were still encouraging her. Then y'all were still I guess inviting her, not inviting her, but just
No, we did. Yeah, I know. I know the situation. Yeah, she was. So this was the day. The way that we did have a tryout day. So we not only the Saturdays, but if they got into the club, they're going to be a year. But what team are you going to be on?
mhm,
And this little girl was so sick, but she came anyways, and she sat in the stands, and we made sure, and then we took a group picture at the end, and she came down, and they everybody got a shirt. She had her shirt on, and so she wasn't able to participate in all of that.
yeah,
But I thank you for saying that, Eric, because that's the culture of the club. She wanted to be there even though she was so sick. She wanted to be on the court and she knew she couldn't. Doesn't matter. She was part of the group, and that's the culture in a nutshell. And I know what you mean. That you don't see it, but watching, you're in the gym a lot, and
yeah,
you're not watching, but you're listening, and I can see how you can appreciate what's going on because you're hearing it the way other parents don't hear it. You're actually
correct,
hearing what the coaches are saying. You're going to hear it way better because that's what you're relying on. And
correct.
I love that you're able to say, hey, look, I remember this girl and she did this. And it meant a lot to that young lady that we were doing that. I totally agree with you. That's the purpose. If I can keep providing those moments,
You'll be
that,
blessed.
that I believe that God's going to bless it. It
Oh
is
yeah.
those moments that count. And it's club first, player first, team second. It's not about I've got to be on the best team. It's I get to go to the club.
Yeah.
It's
it's
a different culture.
Yeah, it is. And I really appreciate, you coming on and everything today, Coach Brusher. And like I said, thank you we're going to go ahead and wrap up. We'll go ahead and thank you for coming on. And anybody out there that wants to subscribe, will subscribe and like. That will help the channel grow even more. And I really appreciate that. Thank you, Coach. And any more? Let me ask you one more thing. What's the next thing that the middle school? My daughter. Is there anything? What's the next thing that they can go to just before we get off?
So for us right now, and I don't know how fast this is going to come out, but so we're doing the Saturday. So the last two Saturdays in July.
Okay.
After that, we're right now. We have to wait until the tournaments end because getting
Okay.
gym space is next to impossible. Like
Oh yeah, volley. Yeah,
every gym, because not only is volleyball going, but now basketball's
basketball.
in preseason, and so it's like it is really difficult. Like I said, I'm talking with a builder
Hmm.
that we might have something in place, but again, that's very preliminary.
It will happen.
Before so the Yeah, but the girls that we're going to try to provide things that for those girls to keep their touches going until November rolls around.
Okay.
That 100% the goal. I want to keep it. We will have the income coming from the cash flow coming from the dues. It's not
Correct.
about that. It is about can we get a place where the girls, especially the young ones who don't have a team to play for,
Yeah.
because it's too early. They're too young.
Yeah.
Okay, how can we help them get better? What are the kind of clinics that we can offer? Where can we offer them? Those kind of things. But it's
That's
coming up.
awesome. That
It's,
that's
it's
that's
coming.
awesome. That's gonna be great, and I
Yep.
can't wait to be a part of this and see it prosper. And I thank you for coming on, and I really appreciate it, and we'll see you really soon, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The other place, by the way, is Facebook. If you just type in Texoma Thunder VBC, that you can
Okay.
follow us on Facebook. That's the easiest way to get information on what's going on.
Okay.
So, we have our website, but Facebook and
Yeah.
and I've got a social. You should see some of the pictures that we have.
Yeah.
If
What's your
if if,
social
the,
media?
if,
I
the,
mean,
if
what's
everybody do that, I'm sorry, that was awful. That was awful to say to you,
what
Eric.
what
but,
happened?
but your listeners,
Oh, it's all right,
your
buddy.
listeners. I'm like, Eric, you gotta look at these pictures. No,
No, trust
they,
me, brother. I get it all the time. It's okay. What's your social
we
media
have
again? And
it's Texoma Thunder BBC,
that's on.
Texoma Thunder, both on Facebook and Instagram. We're not on TikTok yet. We're getting there,
Okay.
but those are the two places that you can find us. And the
Awesome.
pictures are fantastic. We have a young lady. She's going to be a senior in high school, but she wants to be a sports photographer.
Mhm.
And she is our social media manager right now. And you'll see some fantastic things of what the club is doing if you just go online and check out
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Well, y'all heard it from the founder from Texoma Thunder, the founder. So thank you, Coach, and we'll see you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Coach.